no direction for this, but I do want to catch up on certain things. Like, I mentioned before, like, how cold it is from time to time. Like, right now, in Washington, where's the weather? It's 45 degrees, man. It's legit fucking cold. Right now, at night, it has gone down to 39 degrees. That's the first time I'm feeling that. Like, like day-to-day life. Like, I've been to the mountains during winter. Yeah, that's fucking cold. But you know what? I take comfort that I used to be able to go back to LA and just be like, okay, it's a bit warmer now. Nope. Everywhere I go here, it's like, oh my fucking god. Except indoors.
And if you don't buy clothes,
oh yeah,
that's specifically for that area,
oh yeah,
it just because you can buy warm clothes in LA, but that is not the same kind of
no,
warm
it really
clothing.
like my wardrobe has been slowly changing. Where I'm like, fuck, like yeah, all my LA clothing, I'm like to the side, or I just layer up. Where like, dude, layers have been helping me out over here. Oh fuck. Oh well.
So give an intro to who you are.
Oh right. My name is Hugo, and I'm with my buddy right here. Who I don't know what name you want to.
You can
and
call me
today,
Ramirez.
all right, Ramirez and Hugo. I don't know what this podcast will be called. We'll figure it out. I just want to talk. I just want to catch up, and I don't know, probably talk about my future because I'm not gonna lie. I'm definitely thinking for next month. I'm going to be studying for the ASVAB. I think that's how you say it. For the Army. Yeah, dude.
The Army or into the Navy?
No, Army. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It's my brother. I get it. His love for the Army. He's always gonna try to see like, oh, can anybody join? But I don't know, man. Everything he's told me, he makes a good bargain. That's why, like, at this point, I'm like, fuck. It seems like the best way to help myself. Because back then, I mean, I knew the problems were there, but I didn't, like, I didn't understand the anger that people had towards not having enough for, like, medical bills or, like, dental, like, how the medical, like, we don't have a free healthcare system and whatnot. Like, I get why they're upset now. Because holy shit, dude. Dental bills? Goddamn. But you know what the Army does offer? Free dental.
Oh wait, the Navy doesn't offer dental?
Huh?
The Navy doesn't offer dental? Is that what you're
Oh
saying?
no, I'm pretty sure the Navy does. Any armed forces really, like I mean, you get benefits, a lot of benefits. So I'm like, fuck. Yeah, I know it's gonna suck. It just is. Like there are downsides to it, and the one that I don't particularly like is the contract, because I can't quit. Like you have to finish your time, and it's like, god damn it. But I mean, if I'm being honest, it doesn't look good right now for me. Like it's like I'm putting so much effort just to survive, and I'm still not making it. Like, or I'm not saying I'm not making it because I am. I'm saying like I'm living like barely paycheck to paycheck, and I'm still struggling. I'm like, bruh. So yeah, that's why I'm deciding to join. So that's gonna be in my future.
It's the same way I see it
Yeah.
because like because I never really gave you my perspective of why I'm joining the Navy,
Yeah.
and it's because I think about it like for a full year they're going to house you and feed you.
Yeah. Oh, that was another
That
thing.
you can guarantee that for 1 year,
Yeah.
but at the same time you have to look at the bonus and you have to look at what your salary is going to be for the year.
Oh yeah, yeah.
When you take that into account, it's like not only would you not have to worry about any of this,
Yeah.
but you can save.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then it just helps you out in the overall long run.
It
And
really
then
does.
by the time you're out, you can really figure out like, if you go to college or if you go to a
Hmm.
school, if you try to get a certification, like you can do the thinking while you're in there.
Yeah.
Cuz I don't know, I've
Like.
seen enough people do that cuz when I was going to LACC, the community college,
Hmm.
I just remember these two dudes who like once they were out, they already knew exactly what they wanted to do. They got their certification, they got their job, and it just helped that they didn't have to worry about the bills. They had a nice cushion of
Yeah.
like financial support
Yeah.
that it was just like, okay, now I can get into my career. And they just comfortably got into their position that they wanted.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. That's what I want. Yeah, I'll suffer for a few years, but I'm suffering. I'd rather suffer and improve. Like, yeah, the army's tough, but at least I'll look great by the end of it. Yeah, I might not be able to say like certain things anymore. Like I have to follow rules. Like I really can't get in trouble. Like I have to be like a square completely. Um, well, not completely. I mean, the army still drinks and they could still smoke cigarettes. Like I get it now why they do it. But even then, like I'm not much of a like smoker when it comes to cigarettes. Um, and I also don't drink that much. I'm not really a fan of it, so I'll be fine. I'm already becoming a square, so fuck it. I'll go the full mile. If I need to stop smoking weed, like I'll do it. Like I don't care. Um,
Because you have to think about it. Like you're just trading it off.
yeah, yeah,
Like it's just a trade off.
yeah.
Like I suffer for this amount of time,
And then I
but
could,
at the end of all of it, it's just going to be so much more worth it.
yeah, it
Just
really is.
because, like, I just remember my buddy who left for the Navy. Like, by the time he got out,
Hmm.
he had two houses, four
Damn.
cars, and like they were all paid off for.
Hmm.
And like he got complete help
Yeah,
from I can't remember the name of the bank that he like. It's a military bank that they specifically deal with.
yeah.
But like,
Wow.
it's
See,
kind of weird to like. I think
yeah,
it's funny, right? You got to become a
yeah,
square for a cool minute.
yeah, yeah. I know. It sounds so weird. I never even imagined myself saying that. I've had the idea before. It's not like it hasn't been in the realm of possibilities, but I had never imagined myself to actually like desperately want it this bad now. And it's because just life right now fucking sucks, man. It's just so hard, and it's not gonna get better. And if this is a way to help me, like, I mean, I've heard. I'm not as desperate as a homeless person who's trying to go to jail for just one night just so they could sleep comfortably, where it's not freezing outside in the cold, damp street, where it's like, oh god, no, I'm just God, what an
Hey, but
image.
that's a good
Yeah,
comparison,
but
though.
yeah,
I mean,
at this point, like, yeah, it really is. Like, sometimes some things that may seem like a bad thing, like, it's not to say that I've seen the army as a bad thing, but it's just fuck. You do give up a lot of things. You do have to give up a lot. And it depends for each person, I think, because I've been doing research on it, and yeah, some people, if for example, some people have a good family relationship, and obviously they're going to be apart from their family. But I'm already apart from my family. I have no issue with that. My issue is just the freedoms part. And maybe I'm not gonna lie, I am going to miss smoking a good joint from time to time. But I'll be like, yeah, but I don't have to worry about my dental bills. That's the main one. I really want to pay off everything I owe. Like, fuck, it's expensive. Um, Plus the free food and free living space, like um, where I don't have to worry about that, and I can save up for a car. Because I'm not gonna lie, yeah, right now my transportation is mostly bike. I do take the bus here and there, but nah, I'm not gonna lie, the bike is so much quicker. Like the buses here suck compared to LA. I'm really starting to see huge differences in from like city life to like here in this forest slash like suburbs, because it is very
Rural.
suburb like over here.
You say suburb like, I
Uh-huh.
say rural.
Oh, okay, that's better. Yeah, yeah, that's better. But okay, the reason why I say suburb like is because I literally in the neighborhood that I live at least, it's very it's what you would expect from a familial community. Like there's a lot of families around here. Um, it's very safe. It's very quiet. Dude, I literally live in a cul-de-sac.
At the end of the road, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, um, that's one good thing. I can't believe I finished all my water just like that. Oh well.
But who gave you the idea of
The army or what?
yeah,
Um, I think just when my brother said the free dental, I was like, oh. And after that, like I was like,
just that
yeah,
alone was
yeah,
like
just
enough.
that tiny detail, dude. I'm not joking. I'm looking up to like almost probably like $5,000 like dollars to pay. Yeah, that bad. Like, uh, no, I'm not gonna lie. The amount you have to pay for just like, and it's not just dental. It's even like for a hospital, like medical bills and whatnot. Like, because I wanted to get like um, my heart checked because of my past. But I mean, I've been improving. My health is doing a lot better now. But just to get like some checkups would cost me money, even that alone. And that was when I was living in California. Okay, California, I'm not gonna lie, they do have a lot of benefits as well. Like the state themselves, I'm really noticing that here. Like compared to over there to over here, yeah, it's a lot harder. Um, it's not the same for every state, but at least I don't have to worry about like anything like no like gang life or no like crime. Because I'm not gonna lie, LA does have a lot of issues, man. Like really like moving out of there, like it really changes my perspective on like city life because it's not just LA. Honestly, like the older you get, the more you travel, you start realizing any city, their problems are just way different from like rural suburbs, like all that. It's just different, and it's a lot more.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's one of the things that like that's why you hear me complain about the culture,
yeah,
because it's like culture's like a petri dish, right?
yeah,
When you cultivate a culture of bacteria,
yeah,
each city cultivates its own little culture that
yeah. It
they
really does.
exacerbate different problems.
Yeah.
That's why I lived in enough areas to like recognize what you're recognizing now living in your area, which is like, oh, what I considered normal here
Mm-hmm.
is not normal everywhere else, and like there are better ways of doing it.
Yeah. 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 It really is. There are. That's how I feel like at least over here. Um, it's just different lifestyle for sure. But we'll see how that goes. That's not the only thing that I plan on doing. Like, there's like lots of other factors that I have to take into consideration, but yeah, in the near future, yeah, that's what I'm gonna be doing. Oh well. Um, that being said, I do want to bring up because you mentioned it last time. Like, if we should probably like just mention like also like the mental health of men right now. Because yeah, because you know what? Oddly enough, November is also recognized as the month for mental health for men. Yeah, I know, right? I didn't even know this.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, comes to show our problems not important. That's
Not really. Yeah.
dude, like it is kind of. I laugh about it, but like I'm not gonna lie, it does feel like that from times to times. Like um, lately, like one of my jobs, like I get a ton of customers coming in, and anytime I'm talking to the guys, that's something that kind of like it's underspoken. We don't really like bring it to attention that often, but we all kind of know like where like some of them will just say like, hey, like I'd ask them how it's going, and well, they're like, can't complain because really nobody's gonna care. And you'd be surprised how often I hear that from men. And it's just like, oh yeah, yeah. And then I end up agreeing because I'm also in that same camp. I'm like, yep, yeah. But it is that bad. Like I'm not gonna lie. Statistically speaking, uh, men die like from suicide a lot more than women. Like the average would be like 3.7 times more likely that men commit because we get the job done. So
It's so
yeah,
fucked
that's
up. It's kind of fucked up because like I was at a taco spot
uh huh.
with some people,
Uh huh.
and like one of the guys there also knows about these mental health issues, and I brought it up to him, right? Because it's called Red Pill Community,
Yeah.
and I just told him like, don't you think it's funny every time we're at a restaurant, you'd imagine it be a woman cook because women are considered better at cooking,
Yeah. Oh
but
yeah,
at a
that's true.
business it's usually a man in the kitchen,
Yeah.
not a woman.
Yeah. That kind of makes sense because I'm not gonna lie, the belittling of some of the like the shit that chefs say, it could be very belittling. Um, like there's a clip that one of my friends sent me with I thought like for example Gordon Ramsay, I thought he was so aggressive and mean, but some like his previous chef uh made him cry. Gordon Ramsay. Yeah, I'm like, damn. And you know what? I forget his name. My friend is gonna kill me for this, but he literally said to Gordon Ramsay, like, it's he wanted to something like in the lines of, oh, he wanted to cry, like it's his choice. And I'm like, God damn, dude. Like it's your choice if you want to cry. I'm like, wow.
Damn, that's fucked.
Yeah.
But like,
But I get it, dude. It's very like from because even my brothers worked at like the restaurant industry, and he's told me like it's super fast paced. Like they of course they're gonna be mad. They're gonna be upset. Like what are you doing? Like you need to like I like cooking, but it's not my passion. I do not want to go through that hell to like make something that like that. Like no, I want to take my time. I want to take my time because I do. I'm not gonna lie. I fucking suck at the kitchen. Like I can make my food, but I get distracted too easily. So I would not make a good chef.
and to broaden the men's mental health
All
issue
right.
is like, right, imagine working for Gordon Ramsay,
Mm-hmm.
dealing with that level of bullshit at you, right?
Yeah.
And then going home and having nobody to tell to,
Oh
like
yeah,
nobody to
that's true.
vent your frustrations with.
Yep.
Like, and the reason why I'm bringing that up is because like So like earlier, me and you were talking about like my quote unquote girl troubles,
Mm-hmm.
and I've recognized that I have very few people in my life that I could talk to about that sort of stuff with.
Yeah.
And like it's made me appreciate like, oh fuck, like it's not often that you'll have people that will listen to your issues or towards like,
Yeah.
you know
Because
what I mean? Like,
yeah, and I hate because even I've done it too, like to other people, and I don't mean to. I say this because like um, I've gotten yeah, even to some friends like I've gotten upset at them, and I just hate myself afterwards because I'm like fuck like they're struggling right now, and I'm still getting upset. Like I don't want to, but I at the same time I like there's good reason why I'm getting upset, but sometimes I just like I reach a certain point where I just don't want to talk. I just don't want to talk. Like if I'm also getting the same treatment, like why am I going to put the same effort? Like and then the cycle repeats. I don't mean to sound so bleak, but it's just it's something common that I've just seen. Um, and yeah, and it sucks because I've had my own mental health problems. I've literally been hospitalized for my own mental breaks. Um, and then the shitty part is that I know a ton more people. Like I'm not the only one. I have had friends who've gone to not just one, but many who have gone. I have family too that has gone, and it's not just men. Women also like I know some women who have been hospitalized. I like it's just that bad. But I unfortunately I know more men than I do more women that have been hospitalized. Um, and yeah, yeah, it's just an unfortunate truth. Um, and this is why we don't live that long. No, about statistically speaking, we also do a lot of reckless shit. Like I'm not gonna lie, like we have to though. Like I mean, that's how we keep this whole like functioning society going. Like we have to fucking do the work. Like
or at least recognize our problems or
yeah.
recognize our own issues. Like, cause I think I was talking about this on Saturday with somebody, but about porn
Hmm.
and about like, is it the product that's the problem, or is it the individual that's the problem?
It's very much the individual because we are the market.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
the
But at the
heavy
same
majority
time,
is
we have
men.
to recognize that it's also an like it is. It's like, of course, I'm not going to blame the product,
Yeah.
but to some degree, the product exacerbates the problem.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's a stimulant. Like, of course,
It
you can
is.
blame the individual, but at the same time, like, the existence of the product pushes individuals further and further and further in a direction.
Yeah.
I'm not blaming porn. I'm just blaming the
Yeah.
fact that, like,
No. Well, it
it's like
is.
we were saying earlier, nobody cares about men's problems
Yeah.
at all. And because of that, men have to turn towards something
Yeah.
that gets their mind off of it.
Yeah. Well, oddly enough, it's so stupid. I forget where I read this too. Like, but oddly enough, one of I can see why people use like porn, and it's not just porn. Like it's just sex in general. But like I could see why men use it in that way too. Because if we're going through stresses to our life, oddly enough, one way to de-stress when it comes to men heavily is just the sexual side. That sexual urge, yeah, it comes from stress. Like, and somebody who's stressed even more, they're gonna latch onto it. Um, Now, I'm speaking generally, but I know there's some anomalies here and there, and the same thing with women too. But more generally, I mean, men, it's just how we're built too. Like we're visuals. Like we're visually stimulated a lot. Um, so I forget where I was going with this. Sorry, my mind is a bit loopy right now still. Like mind you,
No, you're
I'm
fine.
having all this conversation, but I'm still going through it. Like I'm on one, man. Woo. Uh,
No, yeah, we were men's issues and like
yeah,
what men turn to,
yeah,
and then men being visual. Oh
yeah,
yeah, the product is it the product? Is the product the problem, or is it the individual that's the
yeah.
problem?
And I'm not saying like it's not for every man. Like there's some who could control it easily, and when it comes to like I'd say like anybody who's addicted to porn, um, it's still not classified as the same level as addictions. Like there've been like in the psychological like the psychological world like that place where they categorize like certain things. It doesn't fall under the same category as addiction because of the withdrawal part of it. But I would say that type of addiction falls under like that type of behavior that also gamblers have. Um, and that's one thing I'm realizing too a lot here in Washington, at least compared to LA. I'm noticing so many people like to gamble, like gamble a ton of money. Like even one of my coworkers, who also happens to be like a man, he just likes spending that much money on like on on gambling, even though statistically speaking,
You mean
you're
like
not gonna win.
sports games, lottery
Oh
tickets, like
no,
specifically what?
like the lotto or like casinos, stuff like that. Like yeah,
Okay, okay.
I'm just surprised that it's just that many people because well, then again, where I work at, it lends like I sell a lot of lotto tickets, so and yet nobody wins. Like well,
Yeah,
the last
yeah.
person won, but fuck, do you know how much it was? It was $1 billion. Although they're only gonna get millions. Yeah, it was
Are you
that
for
high.
real?
Yeah, I'm being fucking for reals. It was up to 1 billion. Yeah. Granted, the guy because you get taxed for it, so he's only gonna
Oh
get
no, no,
like
yeah.
what
I think he gets
700
like
mil, like 700 mil.
I think it's like 50 or 60% of it, but still,
Yeah,
like what the fuck?
yeah, I know. That's good
And
money.
I think what it's like that chase. You're chasing that
Oh yeah,
dopamine
yeah,
high. You're chasing
yeah,
like, oh, I got lucky
yeah,
or this or that.
yeah.
Like,
And it's a good way to escape, I'd say. Um, Cause yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna deny it. I mean, I've had my own issues with like certain addictions too. Both like that, just the regular kind, and then like withdrawal, like actual like heavy drugs. Like I'm talking about shit that like the current issues that we have right now. Like when it comes to the drug world, like yeah, it's bad. It's really fucking bad. Um,
dude, and it's not even just the drug world, right? You know how
yeah,
we're okay. You know how like you're chasing that high of, oh, I got lucky.
yeah,
That for young men is different.
yeah,
It's loot boxes. You know how when you're playing a
mm,
video game, you got
yeah,
loot boxes. You get
yeah.
the, oh, I got this exclusive skin, or oh, I got this exclusive character, or this or that. That's where it's at for the mobile gaming world. That's where it's at for like video games.
You're right.
They've
I've
hijacked
literally,
that
yeah,
feeling
yeah. I
and
mean,
they've
you've seen
mimicked
me.
it.
Yeah. Remember when I was addicted to that fucking stupid ass
Oh, the
fucking
mobile
game?
game.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
god, dude. I don't know who I became that during those few days. I already stopped because I was like, what am I fucking doing? Like, I'm just wasting my time. Don't get me wrong. It was enjoyable for the time. I enjoyed it. I fucking loved it. But dude, I would spend hours just on that fucking game, just because. Yeah, I mean, even games have a way to kind of keep hitting you with those little dopamine hits, where it's like, yeah,
No, but now they're designed that way.
mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Now the market was like, yo, there's this thing that they keep chasing. Let's design a monetary scheme around it. Like,
yeah,
And again, it goes back to nobody cares about men's issues because they're like, why care about the men's issues when we can monetize the men's issues? Because I
Yeah.
look at it like OnlyFans. Like
Oh yeah.
men are being monetized for their loneliness,
Hell yeah, dude.
for that fleeting feeling of
Yeah.
talking to a fucking
Yeah.
girl, dog.
Yeah. I
Like
know,
what
right?
the fuck?
Dude. Yeah. Yeah. Very
Like
much
low
so.
key, like me getting fucking kind of bummed out that this chick hasn't replied to me, and it's just like, should I care? Nah, I really shouldn't, because it's like this is a fucking big ass world. Who cares? On to the
Yeah.
next one.
Yeah.
But
But it's
men,
just it's just so weird how it is, like how our minds think, right?
we get
Like,
caught up on the one
yeah.
thing that couldn't. Oh,
Yeah.
but let's try again. Let's spin the lottery. Let's spin
Yeah.
that fucking machine.
Oh yeah. It eats any person alive. But I see it. But the best example of it of something like that for when it comes to men, I'd say is probably like somebody like, I don't know if you know the show Mad Men. Fucking phenomenal show, like, mwah, beautiful. But holy fuck, same thing with the main character. Um, he's always trying to find that chase, but he's still just as miserable as any other man. Like, it's such a great show, but very depressing. Like, because you start noticing like just certain things where you just kind of like relate to and also like just drown out. And yeah, it's just an issue, you know,
I
men.
always, I've never watched the show,
Hmm.
but I had a teacher back in like when I was at HSU in 2012. She was a history teacher, and she said that she could not watch that show because it traumatizes her,
Oh, jeez.
because it reminds her of the time that she was working as as a secretary
Yeah.
for the corporate world.
Oh, yeah.
And keep in mind, this lady was like, I don't know if she was in her 60s or her 50s, but she was an older woman.
Yeah.
But she would tell us that, like, if I watch that show, it
Holy
reminds me
shit.
of the men that I used to work with in the corporate
Okay,
world.
yeah.
And she would just describe these sort of
Yeah.
individuals, and that it was just kind of like, oh, fuck, like, this is what the corporate world
Oh, yeah, dude.
churns in and churns out.
Yeah,
You know
like,
what I mean? Like,
uh, I I'm surprised and shocked, like how badly like women were still treated way probably way worse back then. Because like, I mean, like who would you turn to? Like it took a while for them to like have the voice they have now, but yeah, it was a lot worse. Like it was way worse. Like,
and
and,
now you
and
have
and it's not
women.
just for the women too. Like you know how I mentioned the suicide thing? They even tackled that same issue in that show. Like where a guy like ends up committing suicide because the pressure is just too much. Yeah, what he did in the show was wrong, but at the same time, like he had no one to turn to. Like he was, and what made it worse it was his whole entire situation. It's just like, fuck, dude. These problems have been going on for years. It's just, and there will continue
I
to
know.
go
I would
on.
make the argument. I would make the argument that the corporate world was designed in this way to promote certain individual tendencies, to promote certain
Yeah,
behaviors amongst men. Because if you think about it now, imagine how the corporate men treated their women back then, and that was terrible. But
yeah, it was.
now, in our modern society, women want to be treated that way. And it's just like, how the fuck did we get here? Right? Because when you, I don't know if you know about the red pill manosphere community,
Mm-mm.
but the issues with women is now they want a guy who's 6 feet tall, makes six figures, right? They have these list of requirements.
Yeah,
And it's just like, well, the only men that have all of those qualities are corporate world men. So it's
not.
kind of like
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah, it is interesting. I don't know if every woman is like that.
No, I'm not saying every, it's
Yeah.
just a generalized, like
Oh,
the
okay.
majority of the population.
I see. Okay.
And this
Yeah.
is going off of dating apps. So, like, not
Oh,
every woman's
okay.
on a dating
Yeah.
app.
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I can understand that. Um, that's why I don't really like dating apps for that shallowness. that does exist there. Like, um, at this point, I just stopped caring too. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm also not the best guy when it comes to personality wise. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I have my own issues. I'm not the best. I've gone out with certain people, and then I'm just like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, that also goes for the women. I'm not gonna lie. I've also dated some pretty shitty ass women, like, um, where all they want is to take advantage of me. Like, and I'm like, all right, I'm done with this. Like, I don't want to continue. No thanks. Even though I feel like it's again, I repeat these cycles, and I should like, well, I am stopping now because I mean, it's just time. Just a lot has happened, man. But uh, it's just a terrible cycle of like it's been done to me, and then I do it to somebody else, and then it gets repeated again. And it's like, no,
Yep.
I don't want to play this game. Like, no, no thanks.
A strange game to play.
Yeah.
The only winning move is not to play at all.
Oh wow. I
It's
forget the name.
it's a quote from a movie called War Games.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, but it's. I think they're talking for that. It's also a chess move, but I forget the name of the chess move. Um, fuck, I miss playing chess, man. I know that's a random statement, but I do. I had a chessboard that I would um, play from time to time. It's really great. Honestly, just to sort of haphazardly link it back to mental health, something that's helpful for like for anybody's health. But you know, a lot of men do tend to play more games too. I really need to hop back on that, just because I do miss playing games. Like, I've been busting my ass, dude. I don't even know who I am. Like, I haven't touched like all my creative stuff that I want to do, which I do plan to, um, or even had like enough downtime for myself. Because I'm also doing a lot of like calls. I'm trying to catch up with people, mostly because I've been talking to like what happened currently with my friend. Like, may he rest in peace. Um, but I've had to talk with his mom, and just unfortunate. It's just all unfortunate news. Like, um, but yeah, like, it's just heavy. Like, you start when you really like get to know somebody and what they're going through. It's just like, I admire my friend because he I mean, he was trying to study for psychology. He wanted to be a psychologist, and he really wanted men to just get over the fact that it's okay to have like to show your emotions. It's okay to have them, even because some men just bottle all of that up. I know, because I tend to do the same, until it implodes, and then you have no other option, because it happens. It happens. You, anybody could have a mental break. Anybody, doesn't matter, because my friend, like, legit, he knew how to like kind of read people. He knew how to understand somebody and how to sympathize towards them. He would put a lot of effort to see like, what am I doing right now? Is that correct? Am I like, who am I affecting? Like, you know, he would overthink these little minor things. I admired that about him. Um, but unfortunately, like I mentioned before, right now, like when it comes to drugs, fentanyl is beyond addictive and highly dangerous. Like, that's what it took him. That's it's unfortunate. There's no hiding from that either. Like, that's just the truth. That's what happened, and I just have to live like that for the rest of my life, just knowing that. And it's so shitty. But I also want to carry his memory for that. Like, it's okay to talk about your mental health. Like if you're a man, it's okay. Like we're all going through it, man. We're all going through it. Let's treating us let's treat each other a little bit more nicer. Um or
I guess
and
I
not
could
just like the way we act, but also to add on that, also just hear the other person out, because like ask them, yo, bro, like how are you actually doing? Like, because if you don't, yeah, like it becomes whatever
because of a
problem
heavy burden.
somebody's. Yeah, it is. It's heavy because even I didn't know like some things that my friend was going through. Um, and then little by little, I've been hearing it from his mom, and it's heartbreaking. It's like fuck. It's just a habit because even I do it, but men do it all the time. Where it's like, all right, I'm just not going to talk about this.
And like
That's it.
to
Yeah.
tie it in to like, because this whole fentanyl issue,
Oh, dude, it's a
it's
problem.
a repeated event that happens.
Yeah.
Like when the crack epidemic hit the 80s here in America,
Yeah.
a lot of men turned to that drug because it was a sort of an escape, right? Like you're turning to something that for that momentary lapse of that moment, like it takes you forget about your problems, you forget
Of
about everything
course.
that's like burdening you at that moment. But in doing that, you neglect the things that you're supposed to do. And each time there's a recession. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
it's economic factors, it's social factors, like they're just burdens that keep laying on you that you turn to something to take off all of these mental worries. And like when we look at the fentanyl issue now, like think about how many men right now are having like a huge amount of issues that they're turning to drugs and being like, all right, I'm just gonna ignore this, I'm gonna forget about this, I don't want to think about it.
Yeah. It's surprising. I mean, I got firsthand experience of that. Don't get me wrong. I would also get annoyed because, yeah, I had my issue with the same drug as well. Um, but other people that I met who are also addicted with that drug, it like it's bad. It's really bad. Like when it comes to like the lower, like unfortunately, like the lower income people, like because I would put myself in that category too, like where like I'm barely struggling to survive. Like it's just more likely, and if you're a guy, like yeah, it's just more likely because you're out. You want to be out more, and then sometimes you end up with the wrong people. And yeah, like I saw like even this one dude, like the he was so. I don't think people realize how strong this drug is. Like it robs you of everything: your personality, your physical well-being, your mental capacity. It takes everything from you because the high is that good. I'm not gonna lie, the high is fucking phenomenal. Like, if I'm being completely honest, like I also have to admit that part. Like I've done it, like, and I know how the dangers of it, but we also need to talk about that fucking high, like the that comfort of just like everything that you're going through. It's okay. It's okay. You don't have to worry about that anymore. That's how it feels like. So of course people are gonna do it. Of course, like because I'm not gonna lie, there's so many like it's the amount of problems that this world has, like in a macro scale down to a micro one where it's just your own personal bubble. It's incredible that we're even functioning as a society. Because I just see it. I see it everywhere. Like, come on, let's not kid ourselves. Like, you talk to anybody, and then you start hearing their problems, and it's just like, fuck, man. Uh, yeah, it's rough. I'm gonna take a break right now because I'm not gonna lie. I have been speaking with out any water, so just give me a
Yeah, go get some water.
uh, okay, sorry about that. I had to use the
Oh, you chill.
restroom.
I went to go get something to drink too.
Oh, okay. Anything you want to add that you want to talk about? I feel like I mostly wanted to talk about the mental health part, but yeah,
No, that was actually pretty good.
yeah,
Like,
it really was.
if I wanted to add anything to the mental health problem, it's just that people don't see the connecting factor in all this. But dating
Hmm.
and the relationship between men and women really correlate with one another of men's mental health and women's mental health. Because right now, people like to think that this whole women liberation, feminism,
Hmm.
like all this stuff, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that the current iteration of it is promoting unhealthy behaviors amongst
Yeah,
women, which is
yeah,
then
it is.
distorting and destroying the relationships between men and women, which then pushes men towards one side of the extreme and it
Yeah.
pushes women to the other side of the extreme. And that's why you have a lot of men who
uh,
are
it just seems.
simps.
Yeah, yeah, I
And
know.
then,
It's just weird how culture in itself kind of devolved in that way. Um, because yeah, I mean, women have their own issues, and then men have our own issues that I don't know, like our behaviors are
yeah, I'm not saying like
yeah,
one side of the aisle is righter than the other, but I'm
yeah,
just saying that it all plays into one another.
oh
And
yeah, it does.
you know what I mean? Because now you have women who are constantly seeking validation from more and more men instead of just that one guy that,
Yeah,
like, it would usually play out that it just distorted the relationship. Now you don't have any men who can talk to any women about their current state of mental issues. I'm not saying that
yeah,
they have to be in a relationship. I'm not saying that they
yeah,
have to be together. I'm saying that because this relationship has now been distorted, like men's issues matter even less now because nobody wants to listen to them. And women's sense of ego and sense of entitlement towards their issues becomes inflated because there's a lot more men trying to get their attention.
yeah,
So it just, it's like you said, it devolved it. It
yeah,
devolved it to this really wonky state. I'm not saying, right? I'm not saying women should settle this or that, or men
yeah,
should seek for more women. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying
yeah.
that there is a dynamic between these two that was broken. And because it broke off, you just see two sides of the extreme growing bigger. And it just plays into different mental health issues.
Hmm.
Because now you have women pushing the envelope of like, oh, I'm so sad, or oh, this or that, to garner attention.
Oh,
Meanwhile, like men
yeah,
who actually need attention aren't getting it
yeah.
because
I
more
mean,
and more women are thirst trapping
yeah,
or just trapping for attention.
yeah.
And
It's
like,
just it is easier for them. Unfortunately, like when it comes to a guy, like, all right, what are you gonna offer me? um,
exactly. And it's
yeah,
like,
I say this, but
because I say this because I've noticed an interesting dynamic at the gym that I'm at
mm,
where you have dudes who will backstab their homies
hmm,
over a girl. And I'm like, wow, there's like no loyalty between men now.
hmm,
Like, you just have men who are grimy
yeah,
waiting for their opportunity to backstab their homie the moment that they get into trouble with their girl. And it's like, okay, this is
yeah, yeah.
this is a little weird.
I'm not gonna lie. Fuck, I hate how everything reminds me of my friend right now, but it does because he helped me be like a better person. Because I'm not gonna lie, I'm I'm not standing over here being like I'm better than all those guys too. No, I've fallen. I've made so many mistakes when it comes to like relationships like that. But that was something that my friend like mentioned to me and kind of helped me see it in a different way. Where like yeah, like I'd give I'm gonna give you an example. So he one time he got mad at me for like being the guy who the woman was cheating on. So I was not the cheater. I was not the person being cheated on. I
You were the
was
Sancho.
yeah. Oh my
We all
god.
know we've all been there. I'm not gonna lie, I was there at one point.
Oh my god. Yeah, you're right. I was. But that's something that my friend talked about. Once I told him that, he was like, "Yeah, dude, that's pretty shitty." Like he let me know like knowing that it does complicate things because it shows like okay, if that's how I'm behaving, then what's to say if he has a partner and I would want to do something like that. And I never really like it never crossed my mind. I'm very impulsive in that manner, but like once he explained it to me in that way, I was like, oh shit, I don't want you thinking that. Like I wouldn't want to hurt you, but I could see like why his thought process was going through that.
And
Um,
it's a multi-dimensional issue too.
yeah,
Because it says something about you, it says something about his partner,
yeah,
and then if he decides to stay with that partner, it also
yeah,
says something about him too.
yeah. It's just it's a lot to consider that you need to think about like beforehand, and I don't know. It helped me kind of see it in a different light. It ended, of course, like what we had between each other, like, but yeah, and it's not like I did it just once. Fuck, man, I had a problem. I'm not gonna lie, but like after
But
that,
it's the desperation
yeah,
though. You know
yeah,
what I mean? It's the
yeah,
fact that like because women get a high off of like being with somebody and then
yeah,
fucking around with somebody in the behind the scenes.
yeah,
And then as a guy, there's that level of anxiety that you kind of get that thrill from. Like
yeah.
trust, it's a multi-issued
Yeah,
layered problem. Like
yeah.
it's not
It
simple,
is it is
but it
interlinked in
also
but in different ways. Yeah.
but I can't say names because I eventually want to share this on my page.
Hmm.
So I'll just say that there's this scenario
Uh huh.
where somebody is idolizing and pedestalizing this woman that he's currently talking to, or
Yeah.
at least dating or something. I don't know what's
Yeah.
going on here. But because he's doing this idolization, she's getting tired of it. And because she's getting tired of it, it's putting her in a position where she wants something that isn't that. And because she's having that wandering eye,
Yeah.
I can
It.
tell that like it's like she's inviting and opening up a scenario for somebody else to walk in.
Yeah.
And I found myself at the end of that road where she's looking towards my way and I'm like, I know where this goes. I've seen this I've seen the scenario repeat so many
Yeah.
times that I know you're giving me an opening. And it's just sad. Like I'm not gonna do it because I actually really I like these people. And I'm like, you know
Well,
what? I'm not gonna open up any of these doors. Fuck this shit. I'm walking away.
yeah.
And I'm going to
Sometimes
tell
that's the best
yeah,
option.
like I'm going to let this other person know, like,
Hmm.
hey dog, like you need to stop like what you're doing right now because you're basically making her run away from you. Like I don't
Yeah.
know how else to tell you this.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That, good on you.
No, and it doesn't help.
Yeah.
And it doesn't help that she's honest with him. Like she's been honest with this
Mm-hmm.
dude and told him like, "Hey, I had so and so try to get into my DMs. I had this other person try to get into my DMs." So there's a level of trust between them,
Mm-hmm.
but as it is now, I'm like, "Oh shit. I don't know. I don't want to get
Yeah.
involved. Fuck all
Fuck yeah.
this." This is why something that you said earlier before we started streaming was I could see why you're alone now. I could see why it's more
Oh
comfortable
yeah,
for you not to want to make friends. And it's like, yeah, because as it is right now, it's difficult to make friends because,
it
like,
is.
I don't know, like, there's a dynamic that's been broken somewhere, and there's no loyalty between men. There's no loyalty at all between men and women. That it's all a game, and it's just like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, that's why I blame men turning to fentanyl. This is what turns people into fucking either
Yeah, it's not
demons
just
or
fentanyl. I feel like it's other things too. Like, but
oh
yeah,
yeah, alcohol,
yeah,
partying,
yeah,
whatever that stimulant factor
yeah,
is. Like that's what I think turns people to these depraved mind states, and it's just like fuck, dude.
yeah,
Do I want to participate in all this? Because
yeah,
every time I participated in this, I end up really hurt, and then I just get all sad and shit.
yeah. Same here. Like I can't deny that. Like, it's not like everything I've done. It's and everything that's been done to me. It's not even worth it. It's like, all right, this fucking sucks. Like, what am I even doing? Like, that's why like I've really had to step back a lot, and even more so like as the days keep going, it's like no, I just what am I seriously doing? Like, I need to focus on what actually matters because and it slowly went in that direction after the pandemic. Like it just I think that just kind of like switched off like something where it's like all right, things can get really bad and they're still bad, but I need to figure out how to like survive like because it could get even worse because people forget like America's it's a very comfy place. It's comfortable. We're comfortable right now. Other places like I think people don't eat, but even in America there's still places like that where it's like it's bad, like it's pretty bad. But you have a lot of opportunities here, whereas other places no, it's painfully like reality is painful. There's so much wrong with it, so much. But if you're lucky enough, you could figure out a way. It's also opportunity, but also luck is involved. Because I'm not gonna lie, like there are moments in life where you do get lucky. Hell, even that's happened to me as well. Like the fact that I'm living in Washington now, I honestly never thought I would even make it here. Um,
I think
but
there's a part of you that never thought you would leave LA.
yeah, like I could see how people get stuck in certain places. It just happens. Life happens, and it's like okay. Um, so yeah, does that mean I'm living a better life? Yes and no. I hate it sounds like a weird way to respond, but yes, because like the environment, it's so much more helpful for like me to like kind of ground myself and be realize like oh okay, um, if I don't do well, it I could end up in a worse situation because that's 100% has happened to me before. But now, like if it happens to me now, I don't have as many people to help me out because I'm literally in a different place of the world. The only person is, of course, my brother, but even then, I don't want to be a burden. Um, and that's one thing I feel like a lot of adults are still going through, like at least in their 20s. Like there's people that are doing well. I'm not categorizing everything, but from my experience, there's still a lot of like 20-year-olds that are like I don't even know how they're doing it because it's a lot worse for them. They're even like I just know a lot of people where it's like it's gotten so bad where it's like you could see like how their life just completely it just becomes awful. for years. It's not like oh, it's just awful for like a moment in your lifespan. No, for years. Like they don't recover. Like I know people that are much older than me, and their life just fucking it just. Unfortunately, I know even addicts who are much older than me, and it's just much worse. On the bright side, I feel like I've gotten so fucking bleak and dark, but it's an aspect of my life that I've seen, and I feel like it does need to be addressed. Like, oh no, it's bad. Um, but I am thankful that I get to see a new area, and it's so much nicer, and I don't feel like I'm uh, dealing with so many stresses that I had to deal with in LA when I was, for example, just walking around late at night, or even the possibility of just seeing something. Uh, I would say dangerous in a way, like even though up here it's there's different kinds of dangers, like I would say, um, but it's a lot safer than it is like in the city, like for sure. Don't get me wrong. I would say the reason why I say city and not just LA, it's because I've heard also bad things about Seattle. Like, yeah, it's a nice place. It's the benefits of cities. Oh, the amount of things you can do. It's like so much, but the amount of problems and crime that you could face, like, yeah, there's some places that you just don't want to be at. And it's just everywhere. Like I can't say like oh it's not it's just LA or even Seattle. Like it's also like Portland. It's also been like New York. It's also been like uh, what's another popular Chicago, right? It's a common thing in cities. It happens. Um, yeah, I don't. I honestly don't have much to add right now. I feel like I wanted to do an hour. This
Yeah,
is
I would say this is actually pretty good.
yeah. This is a good talk. I enjoyed this. Um, I feel like if there is more to talk about, I'll make another one of these because I'm pretty sure there will be. But I kind of want to enjoy my day off. I've been busting my ass, dude, just to survive. um, but yeah,
I mean, you had, yeah, I would say an hour. I feel like a lot got said, you know what I mean?
yeah, I enjoyed it. All right. Well, I'm gonna.
You end it, give an ending.
Um, I just flipped off anybody who was watching this. All right, ending.
So my name was Ramirez.
All right, my name is Hugo. Um, and I hope you're all right. You know,
We hope you
take
have a
care.
good day.
Yeah,
We hope you have a good life.
yeah. We
And
hope
you
for the
matter.
best for you. All right, take care. Please, for the love of God, all of you, take care. Please.